Hello guys, welcome to part 10 of Naruto Rebirth of the Yellow Flash. First of all, I say this story doesn't belong to me, so if you want to read the full story for yourself, you can find the link to the original post down in the description. You can go and read the full story for yourself. I'm just narrating it. That being said, let's get into the video. Part 10 Naruto Rebirth of the Yellow Flash, Wave Part 2. Okay, since then Naruto will be guarding Tazuna, then three of us will be training you guys. Mito and Narumi, you will go with Kushina-sama. Sarui and Hinata, you will be under Itachi. And finally Kiba and Sakura, you will be under me. Hopefully the three of us will be able to protect Tazuna from any attack that may happen during the fight that will happen 1 week from now, said Kakashi as he explained his training plan to the genin. After that, all the genin left with their respective sensei to begin their training. With Kakashi, all right then, we will start with you, Sakura. Over the past 3 months, your physical conditioning and chakra reserves have extremely exponentially grown. Because of that, we will now be focusing mainly on technique. Here is a scroll that contains C to B rank genjutsus. I want you to learn them and be able to cast them quickly. After that, here is a scroll on some low rank medical ninjutsu. Practice them. They actually may be a difference in the fight that will take place 10 days from now, Kakashi said as he handed Sakura two scrolls. Turning to Kiba, he said, Kiba, I know that your family does not really use that many ninjutsu, but for surviving in this mission, it is a necessary evil. This scroll has several C-ranked Dotono jutsus. I want you to start practicing them until you can perform all of them without a break. There are 2 offensive jutsus in this scroll and 3 defensive ones. I want you to start practicing now. I will be leaving leaving a shadow clone to supervise both of you. I will be going to the bridge to help the guard Tazuna, Kakashi said as he handed Kiba his scrolls. Both the genin nodded and started practicing as Kakashi left the clearing to head to the bridge with Itachi. With Itachi, both of you already know the necessary basic jutsus and are quite proficient in your clan moves. Am I right? Itachi asked. Both of the genin nodded in confirmation, which prompted Itachi to continue as he said, "Well, I will be training you to improve your dojutsu, which is why we wouldn't be using them during our training, and your training will be constant of me attacking and you guys dodging. Any questions? Just one. How will we improve our dojutsu if we don't use them?" Sarui asked in an annoyed tone. She was still mad about last night. Her Uchiha pride was getting in the way of seeing past her mistake. Though Hinata, on the other hand, was faring better, and her kind side was resurfacing again. Look at it this way, foolishly, sister. If you hone your body and reflexes without your dojutsu, they automatically work better when you use them, because you will be able to react to situations better and faster than your normal speed, Itachi explained. After seeing the nod from the understanding for both of the genin, Itachi took out a scroll and channeled a little chakra into it. It proved, and from it eight battles, 8 Basel bells appeared. He handed four to each of the 2 genins and said, "These are chakra Wait, I want you to wear them on your wrist and neck, ankle, and then channel your chakra into them, Itachi said, and then waited for both Sarui and Hinata to do what what he had tasked them to. As soon as the unsuspecting gaining channeled their chakra, they were immediately brought on all fours with the distinct increase in direct increase in weight. Both of them looked up and glared at Itachi, who was looking down on them with an amused expression on his face. Now, then, stand up and get ready to dodge. The faster you can move here, the more your muscle will develop and your speed will drastically increase when you remove the weights. I will start with high gain in speed and will gradually increase them over the weeks, Itachi said. And then he began the beat down with the both again desperately trying and failing to dodge him with Kushina. Okay, then Mito-chan and Narumi-chan, I will be teaching both of you five new A-rank jutsus, one of which was your dad's original creation, the Rasengan. I want you both to make as many clones as you can, and then go through these course before practicing this jutsu. Kusina said, Kachan, can we ask Oni-chan for help with Rasengan? Mito asked, wait. You are telling me he knows the Rasengan? Kushina asked in a shocked tone. Yeah, and he has a real mastery over it as well. He told us that he has created almost 16 variations of the Rasengan. Narumi explained and excitingly answered. Kushina was internally shocked, but that shock was soon replaced by an overwhelming sense of pride. She was so proud of what her son had achieved. He is just like you, Minato. I am so proud of him, and I am sure you would be proud of him as well. Kushina thought before she created a clone to supervise the twins, and she herself went to check on Naruto. She wanted to see him with Kakashi. Finally making his way to the bridge, he saw several Naruto clones helping in the building, whereas Naruto himself was sitting on one of the corner and was staring off in a distance. Making his way towards him, Kakashi asked, "How is it going?" "Oh, it's alright. The progress has been hasted thanks to my clones and clones. Other than that, it was boring. You tell me, how is the training going?" Naruto curiously replied, it is going well, to be honest. It's going well, to be honest. By the way, is there anything I can help you with in your training?" Kakashi asked. "Well, I could use a few lightning jutsus. I have completed level 2 manipulation of all three of my elements. Sensei has taught me water and wind jutsus, but we didn't have time to work on lightning jutsu yet," Naruto answered. "Well, it's your lucky day then. I have a lightning affinity and would be more than happy to teach you two lightning jutsu that I created on my own," Kakashi said. "Really? You let me copy your own creation?" asked Naruto in a shocked voice. "Yes, I would. You are Sensei's legacy. It is kind of my duty to teach you. I really want to have you as my apprentice, but the council voted for me to teach Sarui. Though if you are going to learn this jutsu, I need you to promise me one thing," Kakashi finished in a stern tone. "What is it, Kakashi Sensei?" Naruto curiously asked. You are to never use these techniques against a comrade or a shinobi of the leaf. Do you promise?" Kakashi asked in a serious tone. I promise, Sensei, what you teach me will only be used to protect the village and nothing else. Naruto answered in an honest tone. Kakashi's eyes smiled and said, "Now look carefully," said Kakashi as he went through the handles. Ox, rabbit, monkey. As he finished lighting, Chakra had suddenly concentrated on his palm. The sound of bird chirping could be heard. Naruto's eyes widened when he saw the complexity of that jutsu through his Sharingan. This is Chidori, an A rank assassination jutsu that is my personal creation. How do you like it? Kakashi asked, amused as he saw Naruto's dumbfounded expression. That's awesome, Kakashi sensei. It is like the Rasengan, Naruto excitingly said. That is right. I based this move on the Rasengan using the pure lightning manipulation. Now look carefully for the second jutsu, said Kakashi as he went through the same handle, but instead of normal Chidori, a sword made of pure chakra appeared. Naruto knew that this move was immensely more powerful than Chidori, and this is an S rank assassination jutsu Raikiri. Another one of my personal creation. Kakashi said, "Wow, Kakashi sensei, you are a genius. Both of these moves are amazing," Naruto said as he created 4 clones and sent them to practice both of the jutsu. Sensei, there is something I need to talk to you about, said Naruto, his voice uncharitably serious. What is it, Naruto? Kakashi asked. What do you do if your parents abandon you and then come back to you asking for forgiveness? Naruto asked. It's about your mother, right? Naruto, I think you should forgive her. She needs you, Naruto. I know she made a mistake when she left you. But Naruto, you need to see that she had just given birth, had a demon, a demon literally ripped out of her and lost her husband. She was mentally exhausted and was a human. Your reasoning is very much valid. She made a mistake, but she is trying very hard to repent. But now you are the one who is making the mistake. Don't hold on or repeat the past. Give your mother a chance before making a permanent decision that you may come to regret later on in your life, Kakashi said in a big brotherly voice. But sensei, you don't know how I am feeling right now, Naruto answered through getting three teeth and a furious tone. One contrary, I know exactly how you feel. Interested, I never had a second chance. Intent, I never had a second chance. My dad committed suicide when I was, when I my dad committed suicide when I fought. 14, I was 14. He abandoned me at the mercy of the world, but I never had the chance that you have the chance to get back with your family who genuinely wants you back. Kakashi spoke in an emotionless tone. What happened next surprised Kakashi. Naruto stood up and tightly hugged him and said, "I'm sorry. I was out of line. I am afraid that she will leave me again if I let her back in." Kakashi crouched down and hugged Naruto back and whispered, "In life, the only thing certain is death. Before that, every decision is on its own. I know there are at times when the heart desires something, but the doubt is still strong. It is at this moment that a person needs to take a leap of faith. That is what you need, Naruto. Give her a chance. She deserves it, to say the least." Kakashi then got up and turned around and walked back to his students. It was then that Kushina appeared and walked up to Naruto and said, Naruto, how are you doing? Being the emotional mess he currently was, Naruto launched himself at Kushina and hugged her as he started sobbing. Kushina immediately hugged him back and started rocking him and spoke smoothing word into his ears in attempt to calm him down. What's wrong, Shoti? She worriedly asked. I am sorry, I have been an arrogant jerk. I should have given you a chance to at least explain you did what you did, Naruto shakingly replied. I am sorry too. I have no excuse for what I did that night. It is my worst mistake ever. I can only apologize to you. Give me a chance. I will do everything I can to make it up to you. I am so sorry, she whispered back as tears began leaving her eyes as well. I I forgive you, Kachan, Naruto started as he continued crying. My boy. Kushina shouted before she started crying herself. Both of them stayed in each other's embrace for a while before they broke apart. After that, Kushina started touching Naruto, touching, twitching, twitching Naruto and said, "Now stay still so that I can get a good look at you. Oh my God, you are near carbon copy of Minato. Get a better be prepared for when you become older. You have countless girls coming after you. You have countless girls coming after you. Kachan, stop it. You are embarrassing me," Naruto said as he tried to fight back blush that was coming from his cheeks. Kushina chuckled at his embarrassment and then started talking. Naruto told her all about his life, how he was kicked out and beaten from the orphanage, how he beat the Kumo Jonin, all about his training, his Keke Genkai, and his own spiral release. Needless to say, Kushina was ecstatic when she learned that her son was halfway through level 6 at ceiling and had also started learning the whirlpool sword style. She immediately offered to teach him in both of these fields, to which he immediately accepted. It was a chance for both of them to gain ground in each other's life and then move on. They talked for a couple of hours, after which both of them, along with Tazuna, returned home. At home, all the Genins noticed a change in Naruto. His smile felt more real, and his eyes looked much brighter than their usual selves. The reason was soon revealed when Tsunami asked, "What would you guys like for breakfast tomorrow? What would you guys like for breakfast tomorrow?" Both Kushina and Naruto shouted at the same time, "Ramen!" Are you serious? Ramen isn't exactly a breakfast dish. Tsunami asked and almost instantly regretted it. Ramen is good food fit for the gods. Datebayo. Both Kushina and Naruto answered at the same time before looking at each other in shock. Dateban? Kushina questioned in shock. Datebayo? Naruto questioned back. Dateban. Kushina explained in happiness. Datebayo. Naruto exclaimed in the same way before both of them hugged each other. What just happened? Hinata asked the question which was in everyone's mind. Oh, it is a thing about Uzumakis. When they get into a pause of extra excitement, emotion, they unwillingly speak an extra word which can be thought of as a verbal tick. Itachi calmly explained. Oh, it's a thing about Uzumakis. When they get into a pass of excitement, emotion, they unwillingly speak an extra word which can be thought of as an verbal tick. Itachi calmly explained. Everyone nodded before they started eating. Naruto was making small talk with nearly everyone, given the fact that he had maintained his bardage with Sarui Hinata, his mom. He had a lot of topics to talk about until why do you try? We will all die in the end. Gato is too strong. Inari, Tsunami's son, shouted. Maybe for you, kid, but for trained shinobi, us, he isn't even cow fodder. Naruto answered calmly. What do you know about the pain? I bet you have all lived sheltered life in the ninja village for of your you didn't know what suffering is. The young boy yelled back. Before anyone could diffuse the situation, a potent key was felt in the room. Naruto then looked at Inari's eyes, having a cold, hard look in them, and he then spoke and said, "Tell me, have you ever to see your best friend die in front of you? Have you ever lost your family just because a family member or have tell me, have you ever seen your best friend die in front of you? Have you ever lost your family just because a family member of your had become power hungry? Tell me, have you ever been beaten, almost raped? Tell me, have you ever been hated and scorned by the village you have sworn to protect? Tell me, have you ever had to struggle to get food to survive? I had to salvage food from the garbage for 6 months before my old man found me and got me my apartment. So tell me, brat, what the hell do you know about suffering? Naruto shouted. He then removed his shirt, revealing a body full of scars. He then glared at the wide-eyed boy and said, when you look like this, then you will have a right to complain about life. Until then, shut up and stop judging others. Then he grabbed his shirt and said, I will go out in the forest. I need to lose some steam. Itachi nodded at giving him permission to go. Kushina wanted to follow him but was stopped by Kakashi, who just shook his head. Sensei, I understand the refuse about you, reference about you and Sarui-chan, but Naruto's life can't have been that bad, right? And those scars, they must have some, they must have come through training, right? Sakura asked, her voice almost pending from them to agree with her. The twins and Hinata seemed close to tears, and Kushina was mentally planning torture scenes for all of those torture scenarios for all those who hurt Naruto. Yup, if he tortures them, I'll be happy. You are right in a way, Sakura, but what Naruto told us was actually a you are right in a way, Sakura, but what Naruto told you was actually a sugar coated version of what happened. Me and Itachi were there when he got his scars. Believe me, when I saw that It was the worst condition I had ever seen of someone who was only 4 years old. He was nearly dead before we rescued him. Rescued him, then something worse happened when he was 6. He attacks. His attacks didn't hit his vitals and beat him for the sole reason for breaking his mind. In this attack, he was almost raped before the Hokage killed his assailant, but the worst thing is that the second attack had been ordered by the council, and the one to carry it out had been the Hyuga. The ones to carry it out had been the Hyuga. He finished in a saddened tone, causing everyone to flinch. That poor kid, Tsunami Tsunami said as she brought her hands to her mouth. All the Galganians were now openly crying with tears streaming down their faces. Kiba felt bad for the way he treated Naruto when they were young. He realized that Naruto was the real alpha. He had never given up. He had a never give up attitude and was immensely strong in Kiba's opinion. He had a mental vow to approach and make it up to Naruto as soon as possible. Kushina, for her part, felt even worse than before. She indirectly held herself responsible for what happened, what had suffered, for what Naruto had suffered, and hoped that she could give him the comfort and unconditional love that he deserved. Needed in his life. No one ate dinner that night, all lost in thought about the energetic menal storm. How are you this strong? I com- I crumbled under crumbled under simple pressure, but you still stand after all that. Why don't you hate me? My family was involved in that attack. Hinata thought as she saw for the blonde. Shochi, my boy. Big brother, I am sorry, the twins and Kushina thought. With Naruto was simply punching the trees as hard as he could. After a while, he stopped and sent out his streamed out his frustration. It was then that he was suddenly pulled into something and he lost his consciousness. The last thing he had remembered was his grandfather's words. Rage is a dangerous emotion. If you let it take over you, you lose everything and may end up losing everything you have. Remember to always have a calm mind and to never be unjustly angry. After a while, he regained his consciousness and felt two unknown presence near him. He immediately opened his eyes to a boy and a girl around his age. The boy was wearing normal clothes and had white hair, blue eyes, and had a frail look on his face. The girl, on the other hand, had a cute face, brown eyes, brown hair, and was wearing a pink kimono. So, how can I help you? Naruto asked. Oh, we were just collecting some medicinal herbs when we found you. You shouldn't sleep outside. You may catch a cold. The girl said. Don't worry about me. I have never ever gotten a cold in my life. My name is Naruto. What's your? Naruto asked. My name is Haku, and he is Suigetsu. Are you a ninja? The girl asked. Yeah, I am. I kinda was training here before I fall asleep. How are Zabuza and Mongetsu? Naruto cautiously asked, saw that both of his acquaintances had verbal tense. Relax, I'm not going to tell anyone. I recognized your chakra signature from back then. Naruto said. The girl relaxed whereas the boy still had his guard up. Naruto then said, "So, what's a girl like you doing traveling with a ninja like Zabuza? Zabuza-sama saved me when I was a kid and raised me since then. So I owe him. I will owe it to him. And by the way, I am a boy." Haku said. Please, I call bullshit. There is no way you are a boy. Why? One, you are wearing pink. Two, you have a feminine figure and a cute face. And last but not least, I can see the bandages around your chest area. Naruto replied with a snuff. The girl blushed red and screamed hentai, while as the boy just laughed. Pervert. Hentai means pervert here. A flustered Haku was a very rare event to see, and this blonde was capable of doing it quite easily. Naruto then stood up and said, "Well, I guess I will be going now. See you guys in 8 days. I hope that we can become friends after all this is over." Both Suigetsu and Haku nodded at that as they watched Naruto leave. That's all for this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribing. Subscribing is the best way to be notified for the next part. That being said, I hope to see you in the next part. Bye bye.